Okay, the next video in our unit on solids is on cylinders. And a cylinder is just a solid whose two bases are circles. And most people think of a cylinder as being kind of like a soup can, all right, where the bases are circles. That's the bottom, the top's also a circle. And we're going to also be calculating the base area and the lateral area and the volume of a cylinder. So let's take a look at how we're going to do that for a cylinder. The base area of a cylinder, similar to that of a prism, is just the area of the two bases of a cylinder. Well, except the bases of a cylinder are circles, which means that in order to calculate the base area of a cylinder, we're going to be calculating the area of a circle. Well, the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared. So to calculate the area of the base of a cylinder, I need to know the radius of the cylinder. So let's say the radius of this cylinder is, let's say it's 9 centimeters. So once I know the radius, I can calculate the area, pi times 9 squared. That gives me 81 pi. This will be square centimeters. But I also have to remember that the base area of a cylinder is the area of the two bases, which means that the base area is going to be 2 times 81 pi, which equals 162 pi square centimeters. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the lateral area of a cylinder. And again, this is kind of similar to the lateral area of a prism. The lateral area of a cylinder is just the area of the sides of a cylinder. Well, the sides of a cylinder are this curved surface here. All right. So how do we calculate the area of this curved surface? Well, if you think about the soup can, and you think about this curved surface as being the label on the soup can, if we were to take off the label and kind of spread it out flat, all right, so it's on the soup can, it's kind of in this circular form, but if we were to spread it out flat, we'd see that it has the shape of a rectangle. And that's kind of what we see here. I take off the label of my soup can, I spread it out flat, and I've got a rectangle. Well, I know how to calculate the area of a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is just base times height. Well, the height of my rectangle here is the same as the height of my cylinder. So as long as I've got the height of my cylinder, I'm in good shape here. The base of this rectangle, notice that the base of this rectangle, that is the length of this bottom part of my soup label, that's the length of this circular part of the label, right? This length here is the length, if you will, around the circle. Well, that length around the circle is what we call a circumference. And you may recall that the formula for the circumference of a circle is 2 pi times the radius. Well, so the base is just the circumference of this circle. I'm spreading it out flat, but it's still the circumference of a circle. So my base is 2 pi times the radius of my cylinder. Well, so that allows me to say that the lateral area of a cylinder is equal to the area of this rectangle. Area of rectangle, which means base times height, and my base is 2 pi r, and I have my height. Now I have a formula for the lateral area of my cylinder. So let's take a look at how we're going to use that formula to calculate the lateral area of some cylinders. Example number 1. I want to calculate the lateral area of these cylinders. So this cylinder here, its height is 8 centimeters, its radius is 3 centimeters. The lateral area, my formula for lateral area is 2 pi r times h. Well, I just need to plug in my radius and my height. My radius is 3. My height is 8. That gives me 2 pi times 3 times 8. Let's see, 3 times 8 is 24. 2 times 24 is 48. So I get 48 pi. And my units are going to be centimeters squared. And that's the lateral area of that cylinder. Same thing over here. I've got my radius. I've got my height. This cylinder is laying down on its side, but we still call this the height. So let's see. I just plug in my radius. That's 1.5. My height is 3. And let's see. 2 times 1.5 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So my lateral area here is 9 pi. Let's see, my units are going to be feet. Square feet. And there's the lateral area for that cylinder. All right, now just like before with my prisms, I want to calculate the total area of my cylinder, and similar to a prism, the total area of a cylinder is just the sum of the areas of the bases and the sides. In other words, total area is base area plus lateral area. So let's calculate the total area for this cylinder. So first I'm going to calculate my base area, which means the area of my bases. And I remember my bases are both circles, so I'm going to use the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. Let's see, now I'm not given the radius here, I'm given the diameter. Well, my diameter is 8, which means my radius must be 4. So the area of one of my bases is pi times 4 squared, which is 16 pi square centimeters. But again, that's just the area of one of my bases. In order to get the base area, I need both of them. So my base area is going to be 2 times 16 pi, which is 32 pi square centimeters. Okay, so now I have my base area. I need to get my lateral area. Lateral area, I remember, is 2 pi r times h. And let's see, again, the radius of my cylinder is 4. The height of my cylinder is 10. So I have 8 times 10, I have 80 pi square centimeters. So I have my lateral area. So to calculate the total area is just base area plus lateral area, which is 112 pi. My units are square centimeters. Now, the last thing we want to look at for cylinders is how do we calculate the volume of a cylinder. And again, you see the formula for the volume of a cylinder is very similar to that for the volume of a prism. The volume of a cylinder is the area of one base times its height. We write this as capital B times H. Now remember, the area of a base of a cylinder, this is the area of a circle. So let's calculate the volume for this cylinder. I've got my volume formula right here. Area of my base times my height. So let's see. I need the area of my base. My base is a circle, which means it's pi r squared. And my radius, let's see, again, I'm given the diameter, which means my radius here must be half of the diameter, which is 7. So I've got pi times 7 squared times the height of my cylinder, which is 4. So I'm going to have, let's see, this is going to be 49 pi times 4, which is 1,696 pi. And let's see, my units are centimeters, and I'm talking about volume, so I've got cubic centimeters.